Welcome to episode 1 of Investing in Real Estate. My name is John Verdeau. I'm the Director of Marketing and Operations and co-founder of the Home Marketing Group. And so we wanted to create this video series on how to invest in real estate because what we've been seeing is we've had more and more questions from clients about how to get started investing. And there's a lot of different parameters, variables, and things to know other than just buying and selling the property. What are the ins and outs of it? So we wanted to create a one-stop shop for the basics to get started and to let everybody know that we have the resources and tools to help you get started in real estate. Aside from having a home marketing group and actually selling real estate for the last 10 years, my wife Holly and I also invest in real estate, and we've been able to profitably purchase and sell dozens of real estate properties, rental and flip, and create a real estate portfolio that has generated wealth and income at the same time. So not only do we know how to sell and find real estate properties, we can also help you invest as well, hence the reason we're putting this series together for you. So we're going to have different episodes with different topics. The intro topic today, where I'm just going to take you through some of the basics of investing, getting started, where to put your head, where are some of the things you need to be focusing on when you're starting to invest in real estate. So let's talk about why. Why are we investing in real estate? What's the purpose? Well, it's to build wealth. There are different parts of that, wealth building short-term, wealth building long-term. But in the end, you're investing in real estate to generate income or generate net worth. But it's all tied into wealth. So we're building wealth by investing in real estate. It's a tangible asset, meaning you have a lot of control over it. This isn't a stock. It's not a REIT. It's something you own and control completely. We're not going to be going over wholesaling. We're not going to be going over crowdfunding, things like that. We're going to be talking about you buying the property, you owning the property, you controlling the property. It's a tangible asset, meaning you have control over it. You can make the calls on it a lot faster and with a lot more insight and focus and knowledge than you would otherwise if you were working with other people, or you're working with a fund, or you are relying on some market to do certain things for you to generate income and wealth there. So for a lot of people, that is attractive and why they want to get into investing in real estate, that level of control. Okay, let's go over how do we get started. Well, the first thing is you're going to need some cash. You know, as much as you may have seen, or there are programs out there to invest in real estate with no money down, and there are legitimate legal ways of doing that, we're going to go over how you actually go and purchase your own property. So in order to do that, you're going to have some money, get some money down. How much money depends on what you want to buy, depends on your market. The Knoxville market here, properties are appreciating. Most places in the country, properties are appreciating. So you're going to need to make sure that you are properly, quote unquote, bankrolled for investing in real estate. So the first thing you do is not step number one, you should have some form of savings or be working on that, some money to put for down payments. The other thing is talking to a lender, having a banking relationship. When you're investing in real estate, it is not technically a primary residence mortgage. So going the traditional route for a mortgage may not be the best bet. I know for us personally, we have a banking relationship, and all of our loans are through a certain bank. So if you have a relationship with a bank, you're already one step ahead. If not, you probably want to find out, the good place to start is where are your bank accounts? Are they local? Are they with a local group that you could go and meet with somebody and be like, hey, look, I'm looking to get invested in real estate. What can I qualify for? And how much money am I going to need down to buy an investment property? Making sure you have that relationship up front, knowing what you can afford based on your current income and budget is crucial to getting started. So those are two things: saving your money, getting your banking relationship, and making sure too you've got cushion. So the other thing that people forget is, okay, I've got my down payment, I've got my pre-approval, boom, I'm going to go buy my property. But wait, you might have to make some improvements. So before you go off and buy this property, and then you get into it and be like, well, I didn't realize I was going to need another $20,000 to get this property ready to rent or ready to sell, and put yourself in a bad spot. Make sure too, you have money also to do any improvements on the property. There are opportunities where you can buy, move in ready and turn around and rent it the next day. That is a thing. But it is not always a thing. And sometimes you can get a really good deal on a property that may or may not be in the greatest shape. Great. but you're going to be able to take care of those costs, cover those costs, and get this thing turned over as quickly as possible. And in order to do that, you got to have cash. A lot of times the bank isn't going to finance the improvement part of it. There are programs out there. They're difficult to get, and they're also difficult to use. So we're always a proponent of, using the bank just for the purchase and you covering the cost for the rest. So again, knowing all that, and we'll go into how to create a budget, and building a list of things that you're going to need to have or cover, and how to do that in a later episode. So here are some 5 tips to get started in investing in real estate. Number 1, on top of what I've already mentioned, is setting up a separate entity for liability purposes. It is possible to buy investment property in your own name, and there are benefits from a 1031 tax exchange standpoint that you can use. And again, that's a separate advanced topic. But we always recommend having your investment properties in a separate entity, an LLC, corporation, some sort of entity that protects you personally. So for instance, if something bad happens in a rental property that you own, your personal assets are not going to be affected. So that's a question and a conversation that you can have with an attorney. And there are a lot of good ones in Knoxville area. We could recommend to you some really good real estate attorneys, but we recommend highly that you set up a separate entity to put these properties in. And that is also going to affect how you get financing too. The traditional mortgage lender may or may not be able to lend to an LLC, and you may need to go through a bank to get a quote investment property loan. So make sure that you're talking to your lender when you're having that initial banking conversation that I'm going to be setting up a separate entity for this. Okay, and there's some lending parameters that go with that too. They're going to qualify you based on your personal situation at that time. The other thing is start researching contractors and design trends. Who's going to do the work? Is it going to be you? Great. Maybe not great. Who's going to be doing the other stuff? Having those people up front, crucial to making sure that you have a viable investment project and you get this thing done as quickly as possible, correctly, and within budget. So start figuring out who those contractors are. We'll have a whole separate episode on finding the right contractor. Design trends too. How are we going to improve this? Are you going to flip this property? What's the paint color going to be? What is the flooring going to be? What you like may not necessarily be the correct scheme for this property. You want to cater towards the quote unquote masses to get this thing sold in the quickest possible for the highest dollar possible. So what are the design trends going on right now? And that's simple online searches a lot of times. If you know somebody who is in real estate like us, we can help you with that too. And making sure that you know when you're building your budget and figuring out your plan for this, you're using the right materials to make sure that this project is done correctly. Other tip. Partners. A lot of people like to go in business with partners. Helps mitigate some of the costs. Everybody chips in and gets these things. You can get a little bit further faster. That's fine. What I will recommend to you is be very careful who your partners are. And I say the litmus test is if your relationship is worth more to you than the investment, don't go into business with that person. And I say that because when you get money involved and sometimes these projects don't go according to plan, what's going to happen? That relationship could be damaged. And we've seen it time and time again, and I don't recommend going into business with family or really good friends for that reason, because if that relationship goes south, was it really worth it to you for that investment? So be careful who you're investing in. If you're going into business with other business people that you may not know personally, do your homework on them. We recommend background checks. There's a lot of places to do that online. Just make sure that you're going to business with people that are adding value aside from the money that they're kicking in. And we've seen a lot of successful relationships too, but we've seen some that have gone south, and it's really disheartening to see that. So that's just another tip too. And then tip number 5, start at the lowest price point possible. Every market's different, obviously. Here in Knoxville, that lowest price point is rising rapidly right now. But I will tell you, the lower the price point, the easier it is, and the more wiggle room you have. When you do those first few projects, you're going to be feeling your way through, even with a good contractor, figuring out what to do, how to do it. You may not do everything as efficiently as possible. The lower the price point, you've got more wiggle room to make some mistakes and still have a profitable project. So start low. Also, too, from a down payment standpoint, lower price point, lower down payment, generally lower cost budget to get the project done. So all those things are to your benefit. Start low. Even if it's not in an area that you're, used to working in, as long as you're comfortable working in it, we would highly recommend it. Then you get your feet wet, and then you start learning a little bit more. Then you can kind of go into other areas and higher price points where there potentially is some more profit. So I think that gives you a little bit of a overview of how we're going to do this. So we're going to have several other episodes. I'm going to bring some partners in who work with us at the Home Marketing Group to talk a little bit about these different aspects of real estate investing. But it is a wonderful tool to building wealth, to building long-term potential retirement income as well. And we're a huge proponent of it. So that said, the Home Marketing Group, we understand investment properties. So if you are interested in this, you need to give us a call. You need to talk to us. We'll sit down, we'll give you a plan, tell you what you can and can't do, what markets are working, what markets are not working, where you want to invest your money. We can help create a path for you for success. And we've done that with many, many other investors. In fact, we've done it with ourselves too. So we have the credibility and experience that we've done this too. So if you are interested in this, don't hesitate to reach out. We'll see you in episode 2.